hi there. I didn't see you there. I was just practicing. This isn't working. Hey guys, welcome back. So I often get the question of how do I play fast? And it's a good question that most people are interested in at some point. But in order to make playing fast sound really impressive, a number of skills and disciplines need to come together at the same time. So I'm going to need to break this down into a few videos, but don't you worry, you will be shredding in no time. First, I should say that playing fast, like basically anything else you may want to pursue on the violin, takes the cooperation of both hands. We're going to focus on the left. Specifically, we're going to be talking about dexterity. So what is dexterity? Dexterity is a fancy word that means skill or agility, usually referring to the use of the hands. Now, like any other muscular or tendon-related movement or skill, there's a neurological component that needs to be developed in the process. In this case, agility in the left hand is sort of the manifestation of power and explosiveness in the fingers. Not only because you need to get from one note to the next quickly, but it's also important to ensure that it sounds clean and not muddy. So to understand this dirty metaphor, it's important to understand that when you play a note on a stringed instrument, the sound comes from the string vibrating very quickly. The faster it vibrates, the higher the pitch, and vice versa. So when a string is thicker and longer, it's heavier, so it vibrates more slowly and creates a lower pitch. So when you drop or lift your fingers onto or off of a string, you're effectively changing the length of the string, creating different frequencies and changing the pitch. So it's important to drop or lift your fingers quickly so you can set up a new vibration quickly and firmly. That way you don't end up with that confused, muddy sound. So let's dive a little bit into dropping your fingers first, and then we'll talk about lifting them. You want your fingers to drop down like Zeus's hammer or Gimli's axe. But what you don't want is to sustain all that pressure on the string, or your hand will start to cramp up, something like this. Now I'm sure you're thinking, how can I avoid that? I like to have my students drop their fingers as quickly as they can, drop them like it's hot, but then once they've hit, basically relax the finger so you've essentially got your finger just resting on top of the string. Once you've gotten that to where it feels pretty comfortable, do the same thing, but only release enough pressure so that you're no longer choking your instrument to death, but you're still holding the finger down to the fingerboard. That's the goal. Now moving on to lifting the fingers. There are essentially two ways you can do this. Number one, simply lift them straight up, but as quickly as possible. Think like a clean alien abduction. It'll take some daily repetition to develop the explosiveness, but you got this. Number two, pull them off sideways toward the palm of your hand, creating something of a subtle left-hand pizzicato. The light plucking will help to immediately establish a new vibration. That's the method I prefer, but play around with both. Now, one last point I want to make, and this is very important, so hearken. During all of this, you want to keep your wrist and hand as still as possible, like you're a statue. You don't need to reach with your pinky or move your wrist one way or the other, or it will just slow you down. You just gotta that's it. Now that you know how to drop your fingers and lift them correctly, you need something to do with them. I've created a PDF that you can download from my site. I will put the link in the description that you can use to practice. Hopefully it's self-explanatory. If not, let me know in the comments and I'll shoot another quick video showing you guys how I intended for that to go. Another resource that I highly recommend is the first book from Schradieck's School of Violin Techniques. There are 3 books, and the first book is literally focused on left-hand dexterity. So I'll put a link in the description for where you can get that as well. Lastly, there's always scales. Alright guys, try out these tips for a few weeks and let me know in the comments how they've helped, assuming that they have helped. If they haven't helped, keep it to yourself. You are embarrassing me. No, if you've tried these for a few weeks and you're not making progress or you're getting stuck on something, I'd love to hear about it in the comments so I can dive into more specific issues. Do me a favor, hit the like button and subscribe. Remember to hit the bell so you don't miss any of these videos, and I will see you next time.